come up here. There's a cheat card here, just in case you get stuck. You start this, and once you start, everybody else.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at City Hall and in Council Chambers. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And this morning, our invocation will be given by Pastor... Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, with this morning, who would like to give our invocation? Councilman? Oh, there. I'm giving the floor to...
Heck yeah.
Thank you, Chief Markle. I know Councilman Barretta was going to jump right in.
Punch, yes. Thank you all for being here today. Appreciate you and all that you do. If we bow our heads, please. Lord, bless this day. Bless this leadership. Help us find calm during these times. Help us come together for the greater good, for the good of this community, for the good of all those that we serve. Bless the fire department. Bless the men and women who secure the city on a nightly basis, both fire and police. All those in this city who work diligently to improve the quality of life. Bless our city manager and his leadership team and all the good folks of Corpus Christi. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chief Markle. So today our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the Texas state flag will be led by Anthony Wilson. He's a 12th grader at Flower Bluff High School. He is he's part of the National African American Hispanic College Board recognition, or he got that recognition, National Honor Society, and straight A student all of his life.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in honoring the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Good job.
Thank you, Anthony, and good luck in your studies.
All right. Go Hornets.
Yes, sir. That's right. Go Hornets. Ms. Huerta, would you please call roll?
Mayor Paulette Guajardo.
Present.
Council members Roland Barrera.
Here.
Sylvia Campos. Gil Hernandez. Michael Hunter.
Here.
Jim Klein.
Here.
Mike Pesley.
Here.
Everett Roy.
Here.
Dan Suckley.
Here.
City Manager Peter Zanoni.
Present.
City Attorney Miles Risley.
Here.
Mayor and Council, a quorum of the Council, and the required charter officers are present to conduct the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Huerta. So we'll go to item E, and that is our city manager's comments and update on city operations. Mr. Zanoni.
Great. Thank you, Mayor and members of the council and the community. We have one item that we're going to cover this morning, and that is going to be presented by our city secretary. It's going to be an overview of our boards and commissions annual report process for this calendar year. And part of the city council rules of business is that annually all the boards and commissions that the council appoints representatives to provide an annual report to city council of their major accomplishments in this past fiscal year. So Rebecca's already sent out a call for these reports, and we thought it'd be good to brief the council and the community on the process and the next steps on the reporting. So I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Peter. So as our city manager stated, I'll be discussing this process for submitting board and committee appointments, board and committee annual reports. And city boards and commissions, those are defined here as permanent advisory and decision-making bodies created by the city council. So all boards and commissions and committees shall file an annual review report of their goals and objectives for each calendar year and the goals for the upcoming year. The board chair conducts the annual review of board activities and prepares the annual report using a template provided by the city secretary's office. And the boards must ratify the report and submit to the city secretary's office by the end of January 31st of 2025. So the process has begun. We did email instructions and a link to the report to all the board chairs and department heads on October the 24th. The chair will submit the online report, and that report automatically routes to the department director for review. The director can add any comments, then signs and submits. Then the report is routed to the city secretary, the city manager, and the executive leadership team. The city secretary, I compile all the reports and provide them to the city council, and then those reports are placed online for public information. So why do we need annual reports? Boards can use them as a way to communicate their goals and their progress to the council. Citizens can use them to learn what the boards do. They can use them to advocate for their causes or get directly involved themselves by applying to serve on a board. And finally, the council and staff can use them to gauge the board's activity and their impact. As you know, sunset reviews are conducted every 3 years, and this is one tool that we use to evaluate the activity of the board and their impact. So that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
I don't see any questions. Ms. Huerta, you have a question? Councilwoman Campos.
Thank you, Mayor. On these reviews and boards, how many do we have? How many boards do we actually have?
We have about 28.
Okay, and of the 28, all of them are active? Because I know that's one of the things that you just mentioned that.
So yes, we do have a sunset review. I've sent the council that report. We sent it in April, and it was a committee that put together some recommendations. And of those boards, I think there's maybe 5 or 6 that we're recommending for some changes to occur on those.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that's what's being done. Okay,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
It is. Yeah, yes, it is. I sent an email updating the council about that yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I think I barely read it, so I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Campos. Okay, Ms. Huerta, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Appreciate the update. And that concludes.
Okay, Mayor, yeah, that concludes the city manager's report for this morning.
Okay, thank you, Peter. We're going to go ahead and go to item F, which is our public comment. So I want to let everybody know, which I always do every meeting, that we handle significant matters concerning taxpayer dollars, making it imperative that we uphold the highest standards of decorum and adherence to our policies. Our core principles of openness, transparency, and inclusiveness guide our actions, and we aim to achieve them while respecting our city council policy, which has been in place for over 30 years. Public comment serves as one avenue for communication, but it's not the sole method. You can also reach out to members of this council by way of phone call, emails, or even scheduling an in-person appointment. With that said, let's proceed with public comment, keeping in mind the importance of decorum and adherence to this policy. Before we begin, I would like to ask City Attorney Miles Risley to review the rules of decorum. Please.
All citizens must be courteous, polite, and respectful of one another, including the city council and city staff. The mayor and city council members shall be referred to by title and/or title surname. All remarks must be addressed to the mayor and city council and not to the council members as individuals. Citizens are only permitted to speak on city-related subject matter. Speaking on any non-city related matter is prohibited. Loud, boisterous, profane, or obscene language or behavior is not allowed. Citizens must refrain from any disturbing noise, demonstration, or other act disrupting to the city council business.
Thank you, Mr. Risley. So individuals will be called upon in order that in which they signed up electronically. We will first hear in-person comments, followed by virtual public comments. Residents of Corpus Christi will be given priority over non-residents. Please state your name and address before beginning your comments. You have 2 opportunities to make public comment on an agenda item or city-related business. First, at this present time, and second, when the item is actually heard. Please select one option. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes, while non-resident comments are limited to 1 minute. And a visible timer positioned near the city secretary's desk will assist in managing the allotted time. And if you have a petition or any relevant information, please present it to the city secretary before speaking. So with that, we'll start with Nicanor Lopez.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nicanor Gonzalez Lopez Sr. I live at 629 Sam Street, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78412. My phone number, cell number is 361-442-0400. I came to here about 6 years ago. I was going to come and complain about something, but my wife stopped me. Okay? I worked for the city for 25 years, 25 days, street department. Okay, they milled the 600 block of Sam Street. Did an outstanding job milling. But one thing is, about a month later, code enforcement came, gave us little things, telling us that it was our responsibility for the gutters having water. No, sir. For as long as I work for the street department, it is the city's responsibility, the gutters are. Okay? Not mine, not my neighbors, not nobody. Okay? So, made a statement. The state of the city was that the streets were perfect. No, they were not. You forgot the gutters. If you do not fix the gutters, the street's going to go down again. I was the general foreman for the street department, so I know what I'm talking about. My next topic is water department. Had a gentleman about 3 months ago told me that he needed to check my meter. He did. Took him about an hour, came back, then I went back there to see what he's done. He removed the metal cover, removed the top lid, and that's how it's been, and told me he'd be back in about 2 weeks. He had no common courtesy of returning to my house and fixing it. Then I called again because I had a leak. Took the man 20 to 30 minutes. Then he told me, I don't have a leak. Ain't nobody been there. Also, when I complained about the code enforcement, I had a young lady told me, well, it's yours responsibility to fix it. No, it's not. Then I called the street department. Don't have the common courtesy, the director, to answer the call. They sent I'm going to say a junior foreman to talk to me. First thing out of his mouth when he got out of the truck was, I'm big enough to take a beating. That's not customer service to me. The citizens of Corpus Christi paid to send me to Del Mar to learn customer service. They send me also to learn traffic control. And traffic control, the park department is the worst for traffic control in Ocean Drive. If I was to get in an accident, I'd be a millionaire by now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Stephen Pierce?
Good morning. I'm Arlene Medrano. This is Stephen, but I'll get to him in just a minute. My name is Arlene Medrano. I'm an executive board member with Habitat for Humanity, and on behalf of the board, I'm here to thank council and staff and management for their recent partnership on the former Lamar Elementary site infill housing project. Thank you again for helping us improve the lives of our residents together. I'm excited to introduce Stephen Pierce as our new executive director. He's been on the job for about 3 weeks. He has a distinguished 26-year career in the Army, including 3 combat tours and a United Nations mission. Stephen brings experience in leadership and interagency cooperation to our organization. His dedication to local service is evident in his volunteer work with the Purple Order, and he's also an associate commissioner with Buck Days. So we're excited for Stephen to lead our efforts in supporting the development of the Lamar area homes and furthering Habitat's mission in the Coastal Bend.
Thank you, Council. If you may have seen me before, I actually started working for the ROTC program here at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. My wife and I came and we said, hey, we want to make Corpus Christi our home. That's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to find a mission that was purpose-filled. I would tell you a little bit of my background is I grew up in a very poor family, very transient family, moving from house to house to house, from rental to rental. And what we did not have in stability cost me in my education and my stability. So I did not really have a good, consistent home life that kind of gave me an opportunity to launch forward. When I was a teenager, I lost both my parents, and they passed away, and so I was displaced. So I was actually taken out of a situation where I went from a very unstable situation, lost my family, and then went to a stable situation. So it's kind of in the reverse. Some people are stable and they become unstable. But what I learned during that is that when I got into a stable situation in high school, is that a home and a place to act as a launching place for your work, for your school, is a very important part of thriving. And so I was able to have a generational change in my life because I had some stability, and began to, I went to college, first person in my family to go to college, for a master's degree. Of course, I joined the military, 26 years, and that was also key, of course, in my, my development. And so coming out of the Army and coming into Habitat Humanity and working with Corpus Christi, and already the partners I've already worked with here at the city have been really great in helping us to go forward. And I look forward to working with the council and the staff here at the city, and I appreciate you allowing me to introduce myself. And I have cards, and I'll pass those out to you if you'd like to get in contact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. Robin Sander?
I got an area that you folks could help in. I noticed something different whenever I came up the front door today. Robin Sanders, 730 Avondale, right down the Leopard Street corridor. Last time I came in here, there was a sign right at your front door, right there. Don't give the panhandlers any money. It's like going to the park and saying, don't feed the seagulls. This is not good. And it was stunning to me that I'm in a fortress that's under siege. There are loiterers that are wandering around, and then there are groups. One's a loiterer, two's a buddy, 3 or 4, that's a gang. I'm a soft target. I pay attention to things like that. You're not a soft target. Nobody's going to come up and beat you up. Every woman that's in this building is a soft target. Now, I've asked around, how come is this allowed to happen? You get different answers. So being the research-minded person that I am, I said, well, we're going to check it out. Can you just have people loitering everywhere? I brought you a gift. You can get this on Amazon. People buy them and sell them because they have a reason to use them. Hey, nice to see you. You've been really good over in my neighborhood. See that? Now, it's not specifying a law or a number or anything. But we have signs, enter, don't enter, open, closed, don't walk on the grass, go over there, no parking anytime. There's not 1 inch of this street beside this building that doesn't have a car in it. But this is a deterrent. It doesn't say the police are going to come and beat you up and take your car. It just says enforce. Can be no more than driving by and saying, move. But it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me as a citizen to see my city hall where you people are. You're our lawmakers. You're our example. We voted for you. We pay you a lot of money sometimes. But I think that erecting signage like this, signs work. They work. That's why we have them everywhere.
Yeah.
Could help clean up our city hall. I worry about you. I'm going to give you this, $22.
Thank you, Ms. Sander. And
Can I leave it here?
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Sander. But I'd also like for our staff to get with Ms. Sander about the issue, because it's not like this is something new, and I'd like to share maybe some history of what, and the challenge, that we've encountered.
Chief Blackman's here, and he met with her last
Okay.
week, but he's, yeah. Yeah,
Our Chief Markle and Blackman deserve gold star,
we agree,
and they're helping out.
right.
Yeah,
We can't
thank
do
you.
everything.
I know.
Starting in a small
Yeah.
area.
Mayor?
Yeah, I just wanted to make
Right.
sure that, that she was aware, but Chief Blackman, you're back.
Yeah, Chief Blackman met with her
Thank you.
last week.
Mayor, could you also
Councilwoman?
direct our city manager to also address Nicanor,
Yeah,
Mr. Lopez?
the gentleman that came up before?
Yes,
Mr.
I'm
Lopez?
assuming we did about the water and
Yeah.
his
Yes.
gutter.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
I got it contact info. I talked to him on the hall.
Okay. But they need to address,
Contact me.
well, but city staff needs to,
Yeah, we'll contact him.
yeah, they
Right.
need to have a conversation. Okay, thank you. Daniel Resley?
Good morning, City Council and Mayor. I'm Daniel Resley from 2313 Louisville Drive here in Corpus Christi. I received this notice right at the beginning of September. And what it appears is it's adhering to a government philosophy: if it's not broke, you fix it until it is. We had auto pay set up and it worked well for 5 years. So I followed this little directive here, thinking everything was taken care of. About 3 or 4 days ago, I get this in the mail, a shut-off notice. Well, what happened here? So I go down to the water department and they say, "Oh, got a question for you." I said, "Yes." "Did you use autofill when you're filling out the form?" "Probably did, because that's the easiest way to go." "Did you put a little dash between the numbers in your phone number to separate the area code, yada, yada?" "Yes, always do," because he said that could be a possible problem. Then he suggests, "Well, go back home on your computer and just do it again, just to be sure." Well, I go home, turn on the computer, and it says, "You've already done this." So I'm in a loop. Now, can I go over to the billing and water department and get this fixed? Because everything they told me so far don't work. And the second thing is, I'm happy to see some businesses coming to Corpus Christi. You mentioned there was a Bass Pro Shop coming. I can get a lot more excited if you tell me that their Costco is coming. I'm still harping on that. That's what I got to do tomorrow. I got to go to Houston to take my wife to Costco.
Wow.
Amen. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Resley. Councilman Roy, you have a comment?
Sir, thanks for your comment. I actually had the same thing happen to me.
Yeah.
And so in my situation, I knew that I had paid the bill, but maybe it's new software, and I'm just bringing this to council's attention because all the way at the bottom, way down at the bottom, there's another tab that you have to click again. If you don't do that, it doesn't pay your bill. So that happened to me, and I was like, I know I paid it. I knew the time when I did it.
What I thought, sir.
And then I went back in, and I had to look all the way down at the bottom. So just be cognizant, there is another tab way at the bottom.
So if I bring this up again, I can go all the way to the bottom and click?
Well, on your actual bill, when you pull up your actual utility bill, yes, sir. I make sure the
Well,
city manager's
and,
aware.
and what we can do is have someone, sit with you here as soon as we're done, but we have had a couple of people who have complained about the same things.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Reba George should be, so Drew Molly is listening. I'm not sure if he's out back, but Reba George will assist you. If you just wait back here on the, or if you, I think you're going to stay for the council meeting. We'll get the assistant director over billing to help you.
Okay.
So just hold tight and we'll get somebody down here.
Next door, hopefully. That's
Just stay right here and we'll get somebody to walk you to the
right
billing. Yeah, just so we know where you're at.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Resley.
Also make a suggestion, please.
Councilwoman Campos?
Yes, may I he's not the first one or the last one that has had this issue. And Reba does need to address it because people are coming actually in person to address this, and they are being sent home. I know you're not, I've heard this from other people, so again, I hope Reba is listening and coming up with a better solution instead of sending people home. Hopefully they can redirect them, if they're here.
We agree.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I think that concludes our do we have, oh no, I'm so sorry, Alma Studer? And then we'll go
With the video one. Mm-hmm.
Hello. Do I go ahead and begin?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Alma Studer, and I reside at 5433 County Road 79 in Robstown, Texas. Thank you for the opportunity to comment. Sales tax revenue in the last 5 years was $391 million. This means the city earned approximately almost $1 billion in sales tax revenue over the last decade. According to the Texas Comptroller, the City Council is the actual government authority and responsible for decisions made by the economic corporations. The economic corporations own the land they purchase using sales tax dollars, but they can convey it to a business for free. This amounts to preferential treatment and should not hold any place in any democracy. Economic development corporations pick the economic winners and losers, usually at the cost of the disadvantaged that have no legal recourse. Confirm who can join. Is it a pay-to-play? Please inform the citizens where the money went. A lot of it is more current and they're knowledgeable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Studer. And last, we have Sharon Delceuse, and she's on WebEx, correct?
Hi, good day. I'm Shireen Delceuse at 6030 Tapestry, and there have been a lot of incidents in the news lately on bike accidents, and there's some talks on bike safety. So I made this video I'd like to present about how we can make can make the environment safer for cyclists. Please play the video. I'm here to advocate on bike safety, especially in the form of a protected bike lane. So I'll give you an example of riding your bike in Corpus Christi. It feels really dangerous. I don't like to ride on the sidewalk because it's really bumpy with the sidewalk gaps. So I'm on the road, I'm with my husband, and we're just exploring the city, and that feeling of having to be vulnerable to whatever car is behind us is kind of scary. So this is an example of what it would look like if there was some separation, a physical barrier. So this is not just my opinion. The American Journal of Public Health has a study that says that a protected bike lane can reduce accidents by up to 90%. So with stats like that, and you apply it to Corpus Christi, that would be amazing. So if you look at the NPO crash dashboard, you'll see how many accidents there are, even fatalities per year. So imagine if that can be reduced by 90% with just a simple physical barrier. And I am doing everything I can to make this happen, even giving you links to grants. So the response I've been getting is that we should be fixing the streets, but a public street is not fixed until everyone in the public can safely use it. So that's why I think it's really important. And, I ride my bike with my family. I prefer to ride my bike with my whole family. So we ride our bikes in Austin, San Antonio, and with these protected bike lanes, I feel like it's a lot safer. And especially with my 6-year-old son, I don't have to worry as much or at all. And the paths are quite scenic. It leads into parks, trails, and it's just something that I think everyone should experience, so you know that this is a amenity that Corpus Christi really needs. You can cross-reference this with other cities like Austin that say that a protected bike lane has helped reduce their accidents by up to 85%. And I provided links to studies in New York. These protected bike lanes are happening everywhere in the world because they see the success, the safety. So we don't want to see these fatalities in the news. These are families. These are people in the community. We want to protect them. And a physical barrier, if that's all it takes to save that many lives, why not? We have all this money going into cops for safety. So please, when fixing the streets, please consider that it is for the public and everyone should be able to use it safely. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Delceuse. Okay, well, that concludes our public comment, so we're going to move on to item J, our consent agenda, items 3 through 10. Is there any request from council members to pull any of these items to consider individually? Councilman?
Motion to approve.
Well, item number 4, okay. So with that, we'll entertain a motion. We have a motion with the exception of item 4. We have a second. Please submit your vote. Okay, the motion carries. Councilman Klein, you pulled item number 4, which is an ordinance authorizing a wastewater trunk system construction and reimbursement agreement. Your question or comment, sir?
Yeah, I opposed this last week. I'm going to oppose it again today. I just think, again, that the cost of pushing our services this far outside the city, the central city limits, far exceeds any sort of financial benefit we're going to derive from this. And so it's just not cost effective, and so I'm going to be voting no.
Okay.
I move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please submit your vote. Okay, the motion carries. Section L, item L, public hearings, items 11 through 14. Item number 11 is a first public hearing on the annexation of properties in industrial districts number 1, 2, and 4 in Nueces County.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. Daniel McGinn, Director of the Planning and Community Development Department. This next item is the first public hearing for possible annexation of properties located within industrial districts 1 and 2 and 4 through 8. The legal team is currently working with 80-plus different business owners within these industrial district areas. We expect most, if not all, will sign the updated industrial district agreement. But this is a necessary step to start the process for those that do not sign. So, and certainly the companies do have a couple more weeks to get that finalized, and we do have a schedule that will take us into December. So we're anticipating that most, if not all, again, will sign that. And so this is kind of the law that lays it out for us. It's in section 43 with the Texas Local Government Code. It outlines a process where we can annex those properties that are located within industrial districts if they don't have the executed agreements. And again, the city will only annex those properties who do not sign. Will not annex properties owned by non-corporate, so that means anybody with agriculture. We have quite a bit of ag and residential within industrial district number 2. And at this point, we have created that service plan and is ready and available online to view. This next slide should just kind of show a map of where these districts are located. Probably 85% of all the business owners are located within 1. We have about 5 in industrial district number 2, and then 2 in number 4. On the Sandpat side, this is the 5 through 8. Again, basically 2 companies in 8, 1 in 5, 1 in 7, and 1 in 6. Here's a look at the schedule and what that looks like. We'll be back for the second public hearing on November 12th, and then we'll have the ordinance ready to go in December that would complete the annexation. And there may be a couple phases of this, but we'll have more information once we get the complete list back of those who signed. And again, be happy to take any questions, but we do have to open up a public hearing I'm presenting once, but there's 2 items that we have to open up 2 separate public hearings.
Okay, Councilman Pusley.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So, Dan, we haven't had any of the companies in these areas indicate that they're not going to join as yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think nobody has said no yet.
So this item and the next item 12 are basically the formalities to set out the process if a company does not choose to participate in the the IDA agreements.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Mayor, I know we have to have a public hearing, but without objection, I'd like to make a motion to approve items 11 and 12.
Okay, motion and a second. We're going to hear from Councilman Klein and then open public hearing. Councilman Klein.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan, for the presentation. this may have been in the attachment, maybe I missed it. What is the drop dead date that the industries have to agree to the IDA?
If they haven't signed, if they haven't signed by December, towards the end of November, they're going to get on the list. I mean, we're going to be creating an annexation ordinance that includes all the people who haven't signed.
Right. Okay.
Are we going to notify them?
Well, they have been notified multiple times.
Okay.
All right, that's all I had. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Councilman. We have a motion in a second. I'd like to open.
I don't think action is required just on these items. They're just public hearings, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so thank you for the motion, Councilmember Huxley, but we don't need it on the public hearing items, sir.
11 through 14, okay.
No, we need it on 13 and 14, but just not 11 and 12.
Oh, not 11 and 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but we're going to do public.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay,
yes,
so I'll go ahead and open public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment on items number 11 or 12? Okay, there being no one, we'll close public hearing and move on to item number 13, which is a resolution authorizing a developer participation agreement with LSK Development. Bless you.
All right, good morning, or now good afternoon, Council. Mike Dice, Development Services. What we have today, first item is a participation agreement with for Azali Estates for the oversize and overdepth of Oso Parkway. This is a quick map of the location. Oso Parkway traverses up the middle of that map. Cost estimate, this includes the numbers for the oversize and overdepth from the 28 to a 40-foot back-to-back curb to curb. And again, we recommend approval so they can get this development going and continue the path of Oso Parkway.
Okay, Councilman Hernandez.
Thank you. I know this is two different developers for 13 and 14, and I know the developer for 14 did Oso Parkway in concrete. Do we know if this is going to be the case for the other developer?
This will be asphalt.
It'll be asphalt, so we're going to have...
There are multiple areas of Oso Parkway that have different, correct.
Okay. All right, that's all I said. With that, I'll make a motion to approve 13 and 14. Thank you.
And this is D5, so he didn't hit me on that, but we made a mistake in the posting.
Yes, it says it says D4, but
me.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, Councilman Pusley?
Yeah, I second, but where will the money come from to pay for these two?
This is allocated in the Public Works budget for participation funds.
Okay.
It's not trust fund.
Not trust fund. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Councilman Klein?
Hi, Michael. I asked you this by email, so I just want to ask you again at the dais here as well. I have some concerns about this because this is very close to Oso Creek. Are we concerned at all about the elevation? You indicated that those concerns are, I guess, muted. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
Well, I didn't use muted, but there wasn't a real concern because these are traversing outside of the floodplain, so the elevation is at the right level, again, out of the floodplain. So it hasn't been an issue in the past, and these won't be an issue with these.
All right, thank you. That's all I had.
Okay, excuse me, I'm going to open public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment on item number 13? There being no one, we'll close public hearing. We have a motion and a second. Please submit your vote. The motion carries. Item number 14 is a resolution authorizing a developer participation agreement with MPM Development. Oh, we did both. I'm so sorry. Right, so 13 and 14 are taken care of. Sorry, Michael. Item M, individual consideration items. Number 15, consideration and approval of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Corpus Christi, Texas, accepting a petition to create the Mirabella Public Improvement District.
Good morning, City Council. Arturo Marquez, Director of Economic Development. And today we're going to be talking briefly about a petition that was submitted to the city in regards to a public improvement district. So this is going to be the second PID that is requested to the city. Just a brief overview. The City Council did approve the PID policy back in March of 2020. We did receive a petition earlier this month, and we are working with Roads Development for this one. This is going to be the Mirabella development. So there's a couple of things that are required within the petition. These are going to be listed here on the slide. I'm happy to do a brief overview, but essentially all of these were included within the petition. Okay. Within that, this petition itself does require setting a public hearing, which is what we're doing here today. We are requesting to do a public hearing December 3rd, which is going to be the first December City Council meeting. By law, we are required to post it within 15 days of the public hearing itself, so we will be issuing out those notices 15 days prior. Just a quick overview of the project. It is a 300-acre development, and we're looking at roughly about just a little over 1,000 homes. That includes also 23 acres of parks, 13 acres of hike and bike trails, additionally a community center, a community resort style pool, recreational fields, some areas to play basketball, baseball, pickleball, and the like. Okay, and this, for reference purposes, is located just a little bit southeast of the London area. Here's the map on the slide, and as you can see, like I said, it's roughly a little bit south of the what is this? The Weber Road. Okay. So today, again, what we're doing is essentially just accepting the PID petition and setting for the public hearing in the upcoming meetings. December meeting. We are looking into the creation of a TERS, but that will come into a different meeting where we would actually go into further detail about what that entails and how big the area would cover that TERS. But again, that's a separate subject. Here today, we're just accepting the PID petition. I also want to point out that we do have a representative from the Rose Development with us in the audience, just in case you guys have additional questions regarding the specifics of this project. Okay. And today, the recommendation is to accept this PID petition and, again, set forth that public hearing on December meeting.
Thank you. Councilman Hernandez.
Well, this is one of the things I kind of envisioned as when I was advocating for the development of a PID policy, and to a way to create for, to pay for infrastructure associated with new development, that we would have to be able to do this instead of putting it all on the backs of the trust fund or even on, our own citizens that already exist here. So this is ideally the kind of situation I envision. So with that, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Councilman Roy.
On this particular development, I know it's been a little bit while, but we met with the developers and looked at the concept. And somebody that works with developers every day and looking at other developments, this concept is really something I think is going to benefit the city in the long run, in terms of just the way that it's set up and the way that it's conducive, I think, to families and some of the other amenities that they're adding. So I'm excited. It's not in my district, and I hope at some point that, the Northwest or some area of District 1 has the opportunity to have something like this. But it's a pretty neat project. So I'm excited about it. So
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Pusley.
Thank you, Mayor. Maybe we should just create a TERS across the whole city of Corpus Christi. Make it easier. The only question, and I think I asked this question once before when we first started talking about this project, which I agree with Councilman Hernandez, this is a good project. The Cabinets Field, which is just north of this development, is still utilized by the Navy for touch and go practice. So we don't have any flight zone problems with this?
No, the accused, no.
Okay.
No, there are no issues with
And we've notified the Navy of the plans to do this?
With the PID, yeah, there won't be any overlap within the PID and the, I'm assuming you're talking about the AQs, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, the flight zone, that's what I'm concerned about. Have we discussed that?
Yeah, it's outside of it.
It's outside of that?
Yeah, it would not be affected.
Okay, but I still would recommend that we notify the Navy of this project.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Let's see, is there any public comment on item number 15? Okay, we'll close public comment. We have a motion and a second. Please submit your vote. Okay, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arturo. So now the council will go into executive session on item number 16 per Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.072. We will return shortly. Okay, we're going to go ahead and reconvene our meeting, and with there being no further business,